I woke up to this the other morning. I work with Slant 3D, Distracted Dragon Home, and Mythical Glowworks both process all their 3D products through Slant. They have excellent customer service, spot on printing, couldn't be happier, and makes my life a million times easier because I do not have to build and support a print farm. The interesting part of this is that Gabe is offering $1,000 if you can get $1,000 in sales in 30 days by starting your own Etsy store. And I thought, I've done this twice. Let's see if we can do it. And hopefully you'll follow along and do the same things. We'll all make some extra revenue together. So let's get started. So what I did was I jumped into Claude AI. You can use any of the AI generation tools. Doesn't really matter. I like Claude the best. So what I did was I just put in, I wanted to know where were my underserved markets in 3D printing on Etsy. So customizable home organization systems, we already do that in Distracted Dragon. Accessibility aids, I don't have a special needs person in my life or am one, so I don't know that I would have the requisite knowledge to do this. Vintage reproduction hardware, I think that is really a specific niche and I don't want to get into it. Tabletop gaming accessories, that is definitely an option. Pet specific solutions, Blaze, our King Charles Cavalier is amazing, but I don't really want to get into this market. Architectural model components, not even sure what that is. Personalized educational tools. My wife works in education, but I could do them. I just don't see that that is a market that I want to get into. And then craft supply organizers, that's going to be really, really specific to the craft that you're working with. And I could do it for 3D printing or woodworking, but not really interested. So let's go ahead and let's do the tabletop gaming accessories. So what I did was I just wanted to get a title for my store. So I came up with, just for dice towers and gaming accessories. So came up with a list of these. I loved Games Master's Workshop, but somebody on Etsy already had it. So we went with Mythic Rolls. So this is going to be our fantasy themed dice towers and accessories store. So let's get started with that. So where do we get our models, right? So I have been a long time supporter of Fate's End, Kimberly. She's got amazing models. You can see, on my screen here that there's lots. So what we're doing is these tankards, right? So, but we'll keep adding to make sure that we are constantly adding new things. We're going to go through, the next few days, we'll do the wizard ducks, we'll do the tomes, we'll do some of the, mimic boxes, some things like that, so that we have different products to offer. So if I don't already have this, then what I would probably do is go over to, to Sam's here at 3D Design Bros, because if you just want to put up kind of cool things, like mag squares are really cool. Now, I will say you have to insert magnets into these, not as good for 3D printing on a demand setup, but the pucks are here, all these things, lots and lots of different ideas. So all these planners, some of these are multicolor, so they don't work for Slant because they don't do it, but they've got the wireless DJI, so if you're into doing cameras or such, you can do that. If you are running just your own print farm, then you could do some of these smaller ones in the multicolor if you have it. So just lots of great ideas to scroll through and riff on. So if you pull down one and you put in 50 different colors, awesome. The other one that I really like is Plastiforge. Ben does an amazing job. He did the Buddha with typewriter that I offer on the Distracted Dragon site. But he does all sorts of different things. So you could get a model license for this and put these out if you were into like more of a traditional tabletop gaming, right? So all of this stuff, and I think Ben is $5 a month. I think Sam is $10 a month, and then Kimberly is by the rollout. So I know my license was $50. So those are some choices if you're just looking to get into it fast without it. So now say you did 3D Design Bros, so there's $10, right? So now you're at $53. So technically we're over the $50 because of the Etsy fees, but we can figure it out. So anyhow, so that is how you find your files. So now we got the files and we want to put them up on Etsy. So what I did was jump back to Claude, and I basically said I need to have Etsy listing titles for all these. So right now we are at, we're going to do the Wizard's Spellbook, Dice Tower Tanker. So we're going to copy this, and then we're just going to jump over to here, and we're going to put in the title that Claude created for us. We're going to add our, so this is Wizard. So we are going to do the rendered JPG. That's going to give us a nice image of the tankard. And then we are going to go back and we are going to pick up our commercial license so that everybody knows that we are licensed to sell this. So thumbnails, we're going to jump back to Claude, and we are going to get our Wizard Spellbook. And so basically this just gives us a nice little write up. We're going to come in here and just add this as a description. Our inventory and price is $50. We're going to do 1 for now. We're going to add variations. So we're going to do the primary colors, so which is black, blue, green, gray, orange, pink, purple, red, white, yellow, and gold. Those are the colors that you can get through Slant right now. The SKUs are going to vary. Quantities, if you were printing them yourself, then you definitely want to do this. If you have substantial like sizes or something, then change the prices. But for this, it's the exact same thing, just in different colors, so I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and just have the SKUs vary. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do TN for tankard. I'm going to do, this is Wizard, and then this is black. So this is how I'm going to create all of my SKUs. And the reason that we're going through this and doing this is that we are going to use these SKUs when we get over to Slant to actually tell them what you need to produce when we send in a Gray Wizard's Tower, right? So very exciting to watch me type, I'm sure, and you're probably like, how in the hell does this man write books when he can't type? But thank God for word processing. So purple, red, all right, white, and yellow, and gold. All right, so now all these are set. So details, we've got the categories set. We're going to jump back to Claude again and just grab, I just created tags for each one, and I always go to the beer can holder because that's the important aspect of this. So we put this in, we hit add, it gives us all of our, that's too high, so that's fine. We're going to do plastic because that's our, and the thing is that as we go on, we can tweak this all over the place. So Slant is my shipping partner. I always put everything to a pound. Okay, our next step is to set up ShipStation. So you basically just create an account. You can see I've already got my stores linked into it. So Distracted Dragon Home, Mythic Rolls, and Mythical Glowworks all are connected. So all you do is hit connect to store, Etsy, and then follow along. You'll get a prompt in your Etsy store to say, do you want to let them use it? Yes, you do. The thing is, do not do this to remove the spending limit. Um, that is unnecessary. The only reason that you're setting any of this up is so that they know to pick up from the Slant factory in Boise. So you do not need to have anything other than the basics of you need an account, you need to generate your API keys, and you need to connect your store. So when you go to connect your store, you're going to come in and do these API settings, and all you're going to do is generate API key. So I've already got it done, but so you're just going to generate an API key, and then you're going to copy that into your Slant store. So over in Slant here, you're just going to go ahead and in your setup, when you do your setup for Slant, you're just going to add the API keys for your setup. So all right, so we've gone into Slant. Under our account, we've gone ahead and added the API keys for the shipping so that you can do it. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and upload files. And what you're doing is you're basically putting in all the files that you're going to want to print. So for the Barbarian, it's going to be the lid, the tankard, and the tray. Okay, so that's really all you need for those three. It's going to upload them, and then we're going to be able to order prototypes in order to get how much it's going to cost. So what we're doing is Barbarian link, and then we need the tray. All right, so we're going to pick them all in. Let's just do gray. All right, so then you're going to fill out this section with your name and address and all that fun stuff. Then when we click estimate order, you're going to see how much this one's going to cost. So right now, to do the 3 for the Barbarians, it's $34, right? So with a $10 shipping, it's a $44 all in. So I price this at $50 on my site. So we tend to eat the $10 shipping total. So, we're going to make $6 to $8 per order, which is still within our normal markup. So not bad. If I wanted to make a little bit more, I'd go to $60 for the price point, but I think 50 is a good price point for what this is. And I would rather generate more sales than more income per sale, if that makes any sense. So I could submit this order and this would get shipped to me in a few days, but really what we're doing is looking at how much this production is going to cost me. So I know that on average it's going to be in the $35 range and then shipping. So if you are having your customers pay for shipping, then you are making a lot more profit. I do the free shipping over $35 because it tends to boost sales. The thing is with this price point, I'm going to have to see because I may have to increase it just because if I want to run specials on my products, that I need to make sure I have that wiggle room in. And basically at this point, until somebody places an order, you're done. Congratulations, you have your Etsy store set up. It's ready to process your 3D prints. Seriously, this is that easy to do, and we're all in at $53 right now. So, one order or 2 orders will basically cover our costs. So we just need to now start promoting on social media, start sending it to friends and family, and start having people, even if they're just reposting your links, that can be helpful. If you're on TikTok or Twitter or Facebook, videos go a long way towards selling your stuff. All of it's free. So, I hope this tutorial has helped. I know that I've done this and made, Not huge money, but I've made decent money off of my 3D print farm and selling through Slant. So I think the sky's the limit. And if you have questions, comments, leave them in below, and please hit the subscribe and the like so that you don't miss out on anything else. We're going to be doing a whole design series on how to take add-ons to make better products to keep your Etsy store processing and making you more money. So once again, this is Patrick from Just Direct to Dragon. I hope this helps, and we'll talk on the next one.